Come along for a 2.5-week trip to Costa Rica. Before we get into the video, I wanted to show you the crocodile bridge. Our taxi driver actually let us get out and look at all the crocodiles. It's literally called Crocodile Bridge and it's on the way to Jaco. Definitely recommend stopping to get a video and some pictures of this because it's pretty cool but also kind of scary. I've never seen so many crocodiles in my life. We're in Costa Rica. Right now we're staying in Jaco, so we're going to be here for about 10 days and then the rest of the trip we're staying in Santa Teresa. So we're going to be here for about 2.5 weeks. The main purpose is to learn how to surf and work and just chill and absorb the sun, absorb the good weather. We're from Ohio, so it's like 5 degrees there right now. We really just wanted to see if we're able to leave the country and work at the same time while being in this environment, and obviously learning how to surf. So I'm kind of nervous for that. But we arrived yesterday in San Jose. The flight we flew from Columbus, Ohio to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to San Jose. The flight was like 3.5 hours from Atlanta to here. And then it was about an hour and a half awful drive from San Jose to Jaco. The roads are just do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. And it's a manual, so it's like, I felt car sick. And so, whoa. But anyways, we made it and got a good night's sleep. We ate, got some breakfast food down the street at the market, and now we're kicking off the trip. So come along with us for our 2.5-week chill, work, surf adventure in Costa Rica. I didn't film the whole Airbnb tour, but this top balcony, or the top part of the Airbnb, was where me and my fiance were staying. And it was absolutely gorgeous, so I had to show you this. There's a little plunge pool right there, and space to hang out up here, which is where we did our morning routines. And just look at the sunset view. We had the most perfect views of the sunset up here. There's a little hammock space back there, and then this is just where the bedroom and the bathroom was. Nothing crazy, but the Airbnb was super nice. Right now it's 9 a.m. and I'm just going for a little walk on the beach after doing some Pilates. It's like 80 degrees here right now. Last night we just had dinner at El Navilo. I would rate it like 6 out of 10. Didn't really love it. And then we went home, got in the ocean, swam, and played games for the rest of the night. We woke up around 6:30 a.m. this morning, and now I'm about to do some yoga, stretch, and meditate on the beach before our surf lessons at 10 a.m. Got my surf gear on, my hair is braided. I'm ready to learn how to surf.
Goofy. You're goofy.
1, 2, 3, now. Goofy. 1, 2, 3, now.
What do you think?
I don't know what side you feel more comfortable. Okay, squat. 3, 1, 2, 3, now. Shot. Don't move. Good. This foot you need to bring at the center. Because if you pull like this and the water pushes this side, you understand? Squat, some position, go ahead, don't look me, I never stay here. Wow!
After surfing, we headed to go get some food because we were starving, but I wanted to show you this clip of us walking there because the streets in Costa Rica and Jaco specifically, they just seem kind of trashy, maybe a little bit dirty. but it's definitely nothing fancy. So I just wanted to be transparent about that and set the right expectations for whenever you come to Costa Rica. Honestly, in my opinion, it's worth it. The vibes and views of Costa Rica are great. So this is where we ate for lunch. It's called Ridiculous Burgers. It's a world-known place and they have ginormous burgers, but we just got normal-sized ones. It was honestly really, really good. I don't know what it is about here, but it's 9 o'clock. I've already had my coffee, meditated, had breakfast, surfed for about 30 to 45 minutes, read, checked some emails, and it's not even 9 o'clock and I'm laying out right now reading. And it feels like it's noon. I'm so confused. It just, when the sun is up, it feels like it's already 10 a.m. when it's really 6 a.m. It's wild. I feel like I have so much more time here. So today I got up, surfed at like 7:30 a.m. on my own this time because yesterday I had my first lesson with an instructor and I realized after the fact he was pushing me the entire time. So today I did it without any help and it was pretty rough at first, but then I started to get up and then fall, and then I started to get up and actually stay up for a little while. But I'm riding like the very end of the wave, so very beginner level. And then I got tumbled, like toppled 3 times. The surfboard kept nosediving and then I just wiped out. It hit my head and I was like, I'm done for the day. Went back in and then what did I do? Kind of chilled for the rest of the day, and then we went to lunch. And we went to lunch at Amara, which was absolutely amazing. Couldn't recommend it more. 10 out of 10 meal. It's a Mediterranean style place. And I got a Greek salad, bruschetta, mushroom risotto with mahi, and some desserts. It was absolutely phenomenal. And then we just chilled afterwards. Honestly, we haven't been doing too much. This trip is really just meant for us to like kind of live by the beach, work, chill, learn how to surf, and explore a few different things. Right now, I'm going to get marks and with my fiance, and then probably just enjoy the sunset. And tomorrow we are going to Manuel Antonio, so I'm really excited for that because I've been wanting to go to a rainforest and see some animals and just be in the jungle. Well, it'll feel like the jungle to me. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned. we've been in Costa Rica for almost a week now. On Sunday, we went to Manuel Antonio, and to be honest, I was kind of underwhelmed. It was about an hour and a half Uber ride down there, and which was about $100, but we split it between 4 people. And then once we got there, it took us about 2 hours to go through the whole park. So it was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, and we also spent about 15 to 20 minutes at one of the beaches. We stopped at the first beach, and it was so beautiful. It seems more private than the other beach, and it's also smaller than the other beach, but it's white sand, very turquoise blue water, and it's calm, so the waves aren't super big, so you can swim and relax in the water. There's really pretty rock formations, and overall it's just a really good vibe and very relaxing. So I love that beach, and I wish we would have spent more time there. But overall, we saw some monkeys, which were absolutely adorable. We saw a sloth, but they're kind of hard to see because they're so up in a tree and they don't move, so it kind of just looks like a big gigantic ball of coarse fur. Then we saw a lot of crabs. What else? That's kind of all we saw. I wish I would have seen some birds because I was really wanting to see colorful birds, but it's fine. I was kind of just underwhelmed, but it's like the most famous park in Costa Rica. Then we stopped by the Manuel Antonio public beach. Super busy, lots of people, very hot, cool rock formations. The water wasn't super pretty. The first beach and the actual national park, Manuel Antonio, was a lot prettier than this one. So I highly recommend you spend an hour or so at that first beach. And the last few days we've just been working, chilling, surfing. I usually surf for about 30 to 45 minutes. Our surf instructor told us that medium tides are best for beginners. So that's usually the times I've been going, usually in the morning and then sometimes at sunset. There's also a lot of stingrays out here. We see them in the waves and they're like actually really shallow, so that's kind of scary too. But I really like it. It's a lot of fun surfing. It's tough, it's challenging, but I've been getting up, not for too long, and I usually ride the end of the wave, but it's been really fun. Headed to Miro. Me and my fiance decided to walk. It was about a 35-minute walk to the entrance, and what I didn't realize, it was another 25+ minute hike up to the top where the sites are. So definitely take note of that if you go to Miro when you're in Jaco, which I highly suggest you do because it's beautiful and it's really, really cool. But it was a bit of a hike, and what we did on the way back was Uber back. Highly recommend you do that to kind of save yourself from being dead like we were. But this is one of the first sites in Miro. You can see all the art on the wall. It was really beautiful, and we tried to get there right before sunset, which we were a little late because I didn't realize how much we'd be hiking. And that is Jaco, but it's just really beautiful. And then we had to hike even further, so it might have been a 40-minute hike, honestly, because it was probably another 10 to 15 more minutes up to the actual site. So this is it. This is when you walk in. What it is, it's an abandoned hotel, or an abandoned mansion. No one really knows, but the owner, the guy who was constructing this, unfortunately died before being able to finish it. But it has some of the best views in Jaco, as you can see right here. And right now, people just go there to sightsee and kind of take in the beauty and look at all the art everywhere. It's really, really cool and really beautiful. The colors here are so vibrant. I love how there's so much art everywhere. I do have more footage, but I didn't want to spoil everything for you guys in case you do actually come to El Miro in Jaco. So I highly recommend you check out this place if you are in the area. It's free. You have beautiful views of the sunset and of Jaco, and it's a good workout. We're walking down. It's pretty dark. Well, not totally dark, but I recommend coming 20 minutes before sunset at least. And maybe bring in some flashlights if you want to see sunset on up there. Remember how I mentioned I wanted to see those colorful birds at Manuel Antonio? Well, they ended up being right outside of our Airbnb. Look at this. Are you kidding me? There were about 5 in the tree right outside of our Airbnb. The most perfect location. And if you're into manifesting at all, let me tell you a little story. I was just picking up some magnets, like refrigerator magnets for the trip because I like to collect them wherever we go. And I saw a surfboard, one that said Costa Rica and Puerto Vida, and it had 2 of these colorful birds on it. I was like, well, I don't know if I should get it because we haven't seen any yet, but I'm hoping I will. 20 minutes later, I see those birds. Like, how perfect is that? This cute little place is Selena in Jaco, and we just had some drinks here. They have a pool. We weren't staying here, but my fiance was able to use some of their work spaces, so that was pretty nice. Now we're headed to Santa Teresa. To get to Santa Teresa, we decided to take a taxi boat, and the van picked us up from our Airbnb in Jaco, and then we picked up a few more people, and then it dropped us off at this little port-ish area where the taxi boat was. And it was about $80 per person. The ride was about an hour long, not bad at all. And you're able to see the coast of Costa Rica from the boat, which the views were just gorgeous. And we even got lucky enough to see some dolphins. Look at that. Look how cute. There were so many of them. And I guess the group earlier saw dolphins as well. So it might be pretty common if you do the taxi boat route to also see dolphins. Then we were dropped off in Montezuma and then got on another van to go to Santa Teresa, and it was about a 45-minute drive. That was really bumpy because the roads here are not the best. This is Eat Street. This is where we ate the majority of our meals. They just have a really good variety of options here. Let me give you a tour of our Airbnb in Santa Teresa. I loved how open the first floor was, and on the second floor you have 2 bedrooms and each have their own bathrooms. The beds were super comfortable. We had plenty of room to store our clothes and a nice little balcony, which is where I did my yoga most mornings and we had our morning routine. It's just really peaceful. Even though there's people around, like other apartments and whatnot, it felt very secluded. And we were about a 5-minute walk from the beach, if that. We were about a 2-minute walk from Eat Street and Selena, so super good location. My favorite part about Santa Teresa's beach was that the beach was lined with trees, which makes it feel more private and more secluded. And also, there were no sales reps on the beach, unlike in Jaco, you were getting disturbed every 3 minutes. And these are some little hermit crabs. They came out like during sunset and throughout the night, and there were so many. Our second night in Santa Teresa, we went to this beach bar called Ranchos Ituana. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But we had drinks, food, watched the sunset, played Jenga, cornhole, beer pong, met some really cool people, and overall was probably one of the best nights we had in Costa Rica. It was so much fun. I highly recommend you check out this bar. There's even live music, and once the night goes on, people start dancing. It's really, really fun, and the vibes are great here.
Perfect. Nice.
This is Annie's bowls and salads. It's expensive, but the acai bowls here are totally worth it. They were really, really good. This is me serving some more. The waves in Santa Teresa are harder than the ones in Jaco, but still obtainable. For tonight, I had planned a wine and pizza picnic on the beach. Tell me this does not look picture perfect. I mean, this was just so beautiful. Today we're going to Montezuma Falls on some ATVs, so let's go. It was about $110 to rent ATVs for 24 hours, and that included theft protection, tax, and gas, so we didn't have to worry about filling up the tank before heading back. Look at that view. It was so much fun riding the ATVs. It was about 40 minutes to get here, and then we started off on the hike. We did have to pay $2 or $4, I forget, for parking at Montezuma Falls, so make sure to bring some cash if you decide to do this day trip. After swimming in the falls, we decided to hike up to the top part of the fall. So if you're looking at the waterfall, to the right, there's, I guess, kind of a path to go up. Definitely need some hiking boots or hiking shoes. Actually, my fiance did this in flip-flops. I don't know how, because it was kind of hard. We had to climb up on some rope and whatnot, but this was the view. Pretty cool. There's a couple different swimming spots and some more cliff jumping spots to jump off of. After hiking and grabbing lunch, we went to Montezuma Beach and chilled here for a little bit before heading back. And this is actually the same beach we got dropped off at for Santa Teresa. Costa Rica, Santa Teresa, I couldn't say enough good things about the place. We loved it there. The food was great, the vibes are great, the people were really nice, It just had a great feel to it. It was very much surfer town, laid back. A lot of people there were digital nomads, and overall it was just a really fun vibe and experience in Santa Teresa. I liked how the beaches were lined with trees. There were no sales reps in Santa Teresa bugging you constantly. I know it's a little bit harder to get to, but in my opinion, it is worth it, because in Jaco, we didn't absolutely love Jaco, if I'm being completely honest. It seemed a little dirty, trashy. A lot of the food was very Americanized, so it was more unhealthy. It was very pricey, which Santa Teresa was too, but in my opinion, what you get in Santa Teresa is just better. So yeah, the food was pretty pricey. Overall, the prices in Costa Rica, I was kind of shocked, especially when it came to food. Actually, our in-laws that we went with, they went to Jaco 2 years ago, went back to the same restaurant that they visited 2 years ago this year, and the food, they got the same exact meal and it was double the price. So that just shows you how much prices are increasing. Also, the sales reps in Jaco were very, very pushy. You're constantly getting bugged every 3 to 5 minutes from somebody trying to sell you something, whether it's a massage, goodies, drinks, everything. So we didn't really love that aspect of it. It did feel a tad bit unsafe in Jaco, and our in-laws had a totally different experience 2 years ago. But basically our Airbnb had a 24-hour, like, when we went to bed at like 10 o'clock, there was security on the site until like probably 6 a.m. So that just kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going on here? I also got a message from one of my brother's old friends back in the day, who I guess lived in Jaco or Costa Rica for about 1.5 years, and he was like, you need to leave. And I was like, what? Really? Because our in-laws they had such a pleasant experience, but maybe places change. But we didn't go out at night, so maybe that's one reason why I felt kind of safe. But I did get some like weird looks from older men when it was like sunset time. So just be wary of that. Maybe if you're traveling alone, don't go to Jaco, go to Santa Teresa. We did feel really safe in Santa Teresa. And we loved the food in Santa Teresa. We felt like it was more clean and higher quality, and we really value our food. And I was also watching the Blue Zone documentary before, and it talks about the Nicoya Peninsula, which Santa Teresa is on the Nicoya Peninsula, so I was expecting a lot of healthy food. But even then, there was still a lot of unhealthy stuff in Costa Rica. So maybe that Blue Zone is changing, and I know in the documentary it says it's gone down a lot, which is kind of sad to see. The one thing we did enjoy about Jaco, I mean, it was beautiful, don't get me wrong, and we were definitely grateful to be there, but if we were to do it again, we probably wouldn't stay in Jaco, and we'd go back to Santa Teresa. But the nice thing was that it was easy to get to from the airport, and it's also within a decent distance to national parks like Manuel Antonio, and then there's also another national park. Actually, it's probably like a 3-hour drive from Jaco, and it's where the beach whale tail is. So basically there's a beach in Costa Rica that looks exactly like a whale tail, and it's called the Whale Tail Beach, I think. And there's also a lot of other waterfalls down south of there. But honestly, maybe just try looking at another location to stay at down there if you do want to experience some of those things, but don't want to stay in Jaco. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I gave you some good tips for when you're traveling to Costa Rica. Thanks for watching.